All right, it is 6 p.m., so I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It is July 15th, 2026. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, board members, for being here. Miss Lori, does everybody want to stand up and join us in prayer, and will you lead us, please?
Lord, please watch over our firefighters out battling fires all over the country and all those displaced from their homes. We ask that you watch over our community and our neighbors as we struggle with the large fire in our own backyard. Help us all, Lord, to be mindful of how easily a fire can start, to be watchful as we move through this extreme fire season. We're grateful, Lord, for our own first responders and all that they do for our community. Please keep them safe as they do their duties, keeping us safe. Thank you, Lord, for all your blessings. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Anita, do you want to lead us in roll call?
Miriam?
Present?
Lori?
Present.
Nancy?
Present.
JR?
You may be late.
Forrest?
Okay. Okay, so let the record show that we do have a quorum present tonight. So just a note for everybody, we do have the public input sign-up sheet up here. So if you'd like to speak tonight, please go ahead and put your name on the sheet. And then I will move to the next agenda item, which is the motion to, discussion and motion to approve the minutes for, I just realized I didn't change the date on here, guys. Sorry. This is actually the June minutes. Is that something that, can I change that, or do we need to wait until next month to approve those minutes? Let me just put it on record what the actual date was. June 17th. Okay, so this is the minutes for the June 17th regular board meeting. So I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Nancy, you are up today.
The insurance renewal. Oh well. Okay, treasurer's report. We have income this is for the month of July, or the month of June, the full month of June. Income of $69,743.50. Expenses $81,841.40. Our account balances, our checking account is at $53,995. Emergency reserves are at $466,820.17. Capital improvements $105,473. Wildland account was at $16,815.56, and our investment account is at $50,282.60. Yay! Total account balances for the end of June is $703,332.28. The bills paid for June, middle of June, middle of July, roughly, is total $69,005.47. And of course, noting we do have some, again, some reimbursable wildland and all of that. We also have seen investment dollars from our investment accounts. So it wasn't even really a full month, but this stopped at the end of June. But we were seeing, it's sure nice to see from the bank statements.
The money?
Yes, where it is. But it's material. On the capital improvements, we were credited with $308 of interest, and the other it was substantial, because that's kind of our big account. That is, it was in the thousands number, but oh, here it is, $1,123. So that was almost a full month, not quite.
It's awesome.
And then 218 on our 50,000. There's some money there. We if there's anything notable. We thought we had paid off that like 3 engine loan last month, but they came back and said, no, we were a little wrong. We need $518 more to close it out. Like, okay, so now it's closed out. So we won't see that on our line item.
But in reality, that was still a full payment. They had come back and said, we didn't owe full payment,
Mm-hmm.
but we actually did.
Yeah. So we shorted them last month.
So we didn't pay more than we had expected to
But
pay.
it was their error.
Yeah, it was their error.
For telling us the wrong amount.
Right.
But, okay. And that's it. I would make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report and bill pay. Second. All in favor? Aye.
Hi. All right, Lori, you want to have next? Oh, yes, that's right. All of your stuff is under old business.
There was something left out.
I have left that.
But on the next.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'm up then. So the next thing I wanted to talk about and I wanted to bring up is we will need some proposed district budgets for 2027. One for the current mill that we receive, which I believe is 6.9 or something thereof, so we'll have to figure that out. And then one for the proposed amount on the ballot. So these will both need to be properly budget or balanced government budgets. For that, I did pull up, I'll send them to you guys. I pulled down the 2026 budget for like Tallahassee, Wet Mountain, Canyon City, Florence, and then I accidentally ended up with Arkansas Valley, which had like 5 million wildland, and I was like, what the heck is this budget? But the other 4, they have some really interesting things in the way that they line item stuff. They actually call out, like Tallahassee, I believe, for instance, calls out of district revenue and expenses.
But their budget is like this long.
Well, yes, but you can also see anyhow, long story short, I'm going to go through them and just make some notes of some interesting things that might be of interest to us, and I'll send them, send all the full documents to you guys as well. so everybody can review them, and then we can start talking about what that process looks like.
Why is this tied to a ballot meeting?
Because we will need to be able to provide the community
Okay,
with,
there's a process.
yeah.
It's October 15th, the treasurer provides budgets, estimated budgets to the board. There's a notice, there's a hearing, there's a committee, there's a vote.
Okay,
So that's how we do budgets.
Okay.
Not just whenever.
Well,
however.
the other part is too, on the, like as far as doing balanced budget with just money that we depend upon, that we can count for, like tax
Right.
dollars.
right,
Or, I mean, we would have to sit down and make some serious budgets.
Yeah, there's no way, you see, every
Because it's
month
not
our
gonna-
income is
yeah,
less than our expenses. So,
Because it's
No, I
not gonna-
understand.
you know, this is,
right.
Because we
So,
pulled
okay.
$88,000 out of reserves last year.
Right,
Went into wildland, or not wildland, excuse me, EMS, rolling expenses.
Right.
So that we could continue EMS even under the circumstances that we're running it, which is bare minimum,
right,
as far as payroll goes. And so there's no, we would have to sit down and make some serious and decide
October,
exactly
November.
where we're
when
Okay.
we do that, when
What
it's
we're gonna
noticed,
pull
when the
out.
public is included, and all of that.
Because at the moment, there's no way to balance the budget without using the reserves that we use, and even that, if we're depending on wildland money when it comes in to even get.
No, I understand that. I just put it on here because it was something the community asked for last year, so I just wanted to talk about it.
But when you tell them there's a process,
Yeah.
and this is how it goes, and you can get involved and come to our budget hearing if you're interested, that kind of
Okay,
But as far as, how we would do a budget for next year, not doing a budget, but discussing how that would happen.
right,
Without more dependable money, accountable money. We would have to sit down and do some, as a board, some serious figuring as to what we would do.
Oh, yeah, no, I figured that. Okay, no, that's good. What I'll do is we can put the information about what that process is in our FAQ, just so that way we have the answer officially on our website for it. So that was all I was saying. I wanted to talk about what that process looked like or when that would happen, but I know that we had talked about that, so I just wanted to have some information about that for the community, since it was
The other
a big
thing
thing
we
that was
would have
asked.
to do if we were actually going to discuss or put out how we're going to use money if we go up and, if we do a mill levy ballot, what we would do with that money and how it would be spent. We need to, as a board and with markets,
Yeah,
sit down and figure out exactly what we would do with that money, where our priorities are, and how it would be spent. That's certainly not something that any of us can do individually.
right. Okay, well, that's good to know. So I have a note here, October, November. Okay, so my next discussion item is voter outreach discussion. So I chatted with Jamie a bit, and she did say that if we wanted to do any sort of outreach to our voter list, that we could do, she recommended obviously getting the list closer to the ballot time, that 45 days out or whatever, but you have to get it. There's specific timing in the calendar, as you know. But she did mention that if we wanted to do any outreach to the voter roll, that we could obtain that list for $25. It would be a different list than what we got later, because she did say that voter registrations change daily, apparently. So I just wanted to put this on here for discussion and just to let everybody know that that was an option. That we would be able to mail to that list for the cost of the $25 for the list from the county, and then whatever the fee would be to mail So anyhow, I just wanted you guys to know that it was an option that she had brought up for us. And then I was just wondering if we could get a P&L for the 2025 expenses or just something. I just wanted to know what a budget for the 2026 election ballot measure would be and kind of what the cost of some of the things were from 2025, so I have a better understanding of what the costs were that we had.
Should be on last year's.
P&L.
You can get it online.
Okay.
P&L for January.
For January. Okay. Cool. And we'll pull that.
That should have that.
And actually it was 12,000 for the county and about 25 for the different.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you for that, because I am like flying blind, so I wasn't really sure.
And from what we understand,
It's going to increase
it's
for
going to
the county.
increase. The county fee is going to increase.
From that 12,000, we should expect
18-ish. Okay.
Possibly. And they don't really know because there's no way to know at this time
how many ballots from
Yeah, how many special districts are?
all the election people, they don't contribute.
Right.
The only thing that contributes are the ballot makers
Right.
to the cost of the election.
So if
Right.
we're the only one, it's going to go up.
She told me there was 3 so far. Yeah, so I spoke with her yesterday when we were at the county
Yeah.
building pretty extensively. And she said that she is talking, and that's not even including us. She said that she's got 3 already filled in, and she's got a couple more she's talking to. So she did tell me that they had 8 special districts last year, so it was divided up,
By 8.
by 8.
Yeah,
So she's looking at 5 to
And
6.
the mailing
She's thinking,
cost is going to be more because it's going to be a bigger ballot.
yeah. But I did talk to her
Yeah,
pretty
that's
extensively
true.
about a few different ways to.
told us it'd be more.
Right. But I did also chat with her about a couple different ways to be able to really, help cut the cost for us and make it more efficient. We talked a lot about what Kim had said to us doing it.
She had already come in.
Yeah. She said that was a great idea. She told me that the recreation district also did that. So apparently they had a list that had a lot of returns their first measure as well. So then they did their own list the second time. And so she gave me the recommendation of the executive director for them that I can find out what his process was. And she said to feel free to let him know that she recommended. Yeah. So I'll reach out to him and just find out what his process is. Yeah. And I talked to our DEO about it as well, and he also reiterated that, the biggest cost was obviously that list. So I do think we've got some good options as far as us actually doing that work and being able to save that cost to us. The other thing Jamie mentioned is depending on how many pages we take up in that booklet will dictate how expensive it is for us to be in it. So if we don't have any objections like we did, or if we have statements, she said some districts do it, some districts don't. She was like, I really have no feedback on whether people actually read it or don't read it. But that would be another way that we could save costs there as well, is if we didn't want to.
And we didn't last year.
We did
Yeah.
last year, so that was a bear.
Yeah. So perfect, thank you. I will look at January 2026, and I should have all this stuff from 2025.
So I think we still need to look at all the cost of this election
Right.
versus our budget, versus our amended budget, and if we can, still needs to be
Yeah.
something on this and discuss
Yeah.
how we spend what little resources we have.
Okay. That is all I have for new business. You're up next. What's that?
Your agenda.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay. Well, number one, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm usually not. And, all right. One thing I wanted to know is, Chief, fire school in fall. Do you know anything about it in the Springs?
Springs?
Yeah.
Put on one for DFDC, yes.
Okay.
You know,
We have any plans of sending people?
they want to go. Right now I've been offering a wildland school in Slida, and we're running to go on classes. So
Okay.
we're going to try to get Mac in, Web Mountain Fire Protection District, Fire 1 classes this fall. Going to Fire 1 and Hazmat.
Hazmat also? Okay.
Well, you have to, the way the state's set up, you have to have hazmat awareness and operation before you can have Fire 1.
Yeah.
You can go get all the hazmat you want, not have firefighting. You have to have hazmat to go do firefighting.
Yeah.
So
NFPA changed everything.
you have to have one, have the other here.
Okay.
That is the plan.
Well, the second thing is the district boundaries. Do you know if they've changed in the last? I know they changed when you took over. You started running Eagle Peak, and did they give you any warning?
No.
They just said you're running there now?
They just started taking us to it because we're closest.
So it's still under mutual aid,
I
not,
believe so. I do not update or get with dispatch tomorrow and get an update on that. But they send the closest one. Because Highway 59 and Highway 50 and Highway 69 is technically open grounds for everybody. It's supposedly covered by the sheriff. But they page us because we'll get there. But they've also paged Tallahassee to a car fire there and then paged us.
Yeah.
It's whatever the dispatcher or dispatch is looking at the map going, what do I want to say?
Okay.
And from my understanding, the way we've been getting dispatched, if it's medical, they send us. If it doesn't require medical, then they send Tallahassee.
I'll forward you a map that when I left, this was the boundary. And now, what I'm understanding from you, they changed it without notifying you or notifying the board.
Dispatch. But we haven't been to Eagle Peak. I don't think I've been over there since I've been here.
No, but you've been down there by Hillside
No, I haven't.
this year.
We haven't been anywhere south of Gulf Road on 69. The only time I've been south of Gulf Road on 69 was Marion decided to play chicken with the deer. But other than that, we don't go that way.
Okay.
I know there's a section down 69 back behind Hillside that's back into Fremont County that's all. And I've been down there looking at a fire, but he was doing a full
Okay, because 34 is ours.
Correct.
They're the only one that didn't, well, it wasn't even developed when they took the vote.
Yeah,
So when they built, that
Couldn't tell
came
you I
up.
responded down there for anything in a year.
Okay.
I can get a hold of the GIS guy, because we're going over GIS maps right now for the county. And have to map out our district.
Okay.
We're remapping all the districts so I can, reverse 911 subdivisions. I'll be able to do all of Cody Park if need be. And if I do Colorado, Florida acres, then I can do Cody Park on standby. They come up with a new way of dispatching and getting everything for evacuation. So I'm working with the GIS guy every other day or so. Sending him an email, he sends me one back. We're going back and forth, splitting up how we're going to dispatch and try to get people off the mountain.
Okay.
So I'll just ask him for a district map.
Well, I found that old map that Keith Berry sent me when everything was redrawn, and I'll send it to you. Maybe you can compare to that.
We will.
Okay. That's all I have.
All right. Forrest, your items are under old business as well, so I guess you are up next, Chief Widener.
Hey, we are busy. We are this past 232 calls for the year so far. Find that sheet. Mutual aid, we've been given 78 calls. That includes all of our mutual aid partners. We've received it 17 times to our mutual aid partners. We're running more and more calls. I'm fully expecting us to break the 400 mark this year. Just knocking them out. Last month we banged out 104 hours of training between Tuesday night and Saturday. Guys and gals are really showing up and running calls. They're doing a lot of hard work. Sending it into the Aspen Acres fire for an all-night ordeal and then an all-day the next day deal. to mutual aid with Pueblo County and help them out. We have an engine over in there right now. They left yesterday. They're hopefully there for 2 weeks. They're doing some weird things. They have to go stay at Pueblo CSU at night for their fire camp, but then they're over by Bishop's Castle, so they have to drive all the way out and around and back. Wildland thing, I guess. Instead of just sending them home and letting them go back the next day. So that's on them. We do have a second crew ready to replace the crew in the Aspen Acres fire at DP. God willing, we get some rain and we all feel comfortable, we can deploy a second engine. So they keep saying the monsoons are coming, but the update this morning, they said the 7th, and everybody was laughing at the weather guy. So still waiting on those. And then we get into some hours for the time exempt employees. Matt and I guess have been kind of criticized on leaving early on Fridays at some point. So I started calculating our hours. We were on call for 168 hours a week. We go on call Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're on call till the following Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning. This week alone, I know I've reached 40 hours as of 28 minutes ago for this week already. Matt is pretty dang close. If we're not in station, we're answering phone calls, we're out looking for smoke, we're watching it rain, we're out chasing lightning storms, we're out chasing bombings because somebody sees lightning and they think they're being bombed because they don't hear thunder. We are out at all hours of the day and night. It's absolutely, some of it is ridiculous.
Well, I think we need to make it clear that we volunteer unmanned station.
So, we're putting in.
It's an unmanned station. We are not here.
Well, we have it advertised over here 8 to 4. And there's almost always somebody here at 4 that just works almost every Friday. She's here in the afternoon to make her hours because she's hourly instead of salary.
She don't count.
So there is somebody here technically. But we're putting in 50 plus hours a week, plus 2 hours on Tuesday night for training, all day Saturday.
I don't think
Getting thrown under the meetings for Saturdays. We're putting in a ton of hours. We've
too many.
recently hired a new EMT. Unfortunately, the damn kid's a wildland firefighter and he needed to go to Aspen Acres. So our new help that we've worked for 4.5 days, is gone for 2 weeks now. So,
Do you have an ad up
we did not have an ad out. We're going word of mouth. We've already gotten 2 just through word of mouth.
for 2
And
EMTs?
that guy,
How about EMT? Have you put it out to get EMTs?
We have not put it out yet, just kind of word of mouth and talking to people. We have a guy coming from Arkansas Valley who wants to run more calls, and we're 4 times the call volume of AVAD right now, 5 times the call volume. So he wants to come up here and run calls and help us out. And then Brandon, that's on the wildland fire, the engine boss that he's out with right now, hoping to come fill out an application for us. So when he's not deployed, he's going to work for us as an EMT 2 to 3 days a week. Deploy as needed.
Jessica,
Go make more money.
Britt, come down here.
Jessica's ready to go. We just need to get another engine ready to go for her to
No, I mean
for
for
training.
EMT. She is.
Has not mentioned anything about doing EMT stuff too. She wants to get her engine box signed up.
yeah,
Yeah, and we don't need the attorney for that. We fill out the paperwork and kind of thing. We don't need anything from it. I'm saying, do we have to sign a contract with the attorney just yet? I think.
well, we need
With
to.
Kim Crawford.
Yes, so basically we need to either talk about whether we want to roll back the vote that we did last month and make a new motion to roll that back, or to vote to roll it back. And then the next piece would be on the 30th, I have to sign the 1 page to Jamie. I do have the interagency agreement for the thing. She did send that to me as well with the calendar. And so we do need to sign that. Matthew told me today that we can do those 2 pieces. Where you can't back out is when you start the actual mailing ballot, that piece of it. But we do have to have the ballot language and the Tabor notices in both Spanish and English by the next board meeting to approve that language, because it will have to be done then for us to be able to submit that by September 3rd.
I thought it had to be in by the 15th.
No, so yes, so we have to fill out the paper, intending.
Yeah.
That's by the 30th.
Right.
Then we have let me grab the calendar. Sorry, talking
Which
about
is
the right.
just telling the county that we intend to pursue.
We intend to.
Yeah. Okay, so July 16th would be when, let's see. July, okay, so what I have is July. That's what, sorry, I should have printed this out. Okay. Okay. July. Okay, so she says July 24th, so let's just say, oh yes, it is July 24th. Okay, so we have to fill out and send in the paperwork, the political subdivision to notify county clerk in writing. That's July 24th. So that's the first paper. And then the
That's our intent.
yes. And then the,
That's actually 5 on the sheet that I got.
it says July 24th right here on the
I know,
latest one that
But
Jamie
of the
just sent me.
letter that she sent from the county I gave you last month,
Uh-huh.
that's the form you have to fill out.
Yeah.
It says right on the front, July 30th.
I know, but I'm telling you that what she just updated and gave me says the 24th. Yeah, this came directly from Jamie this week. So anyhow, let's say July 24th or the 30th. Either way, I'll do it by the 24th just because that's the earlier date. And then let me see if I can find where the agreement is due. August 25th is when the interagency agreement is due.
So that would be kind of the date. Pull out.
Yes. And then the September 4th is when the ballot language is done, is due. And the Tabor notices, ballot and Tabor notices. So,
Well, I was considering that we should perhaps have a study session, workshop, and evaluate the mill levy costs and benefits and where we all stand on the board. And at the same time, look at the annexation.
okay.
So, but bringing this up since we brought up the ballot, and looking at the ballot, I wanted to make a note that, on the last bullet point, expanding emergency response capability and wildfire mitigation, I'm not sure. We can't commit ourselves to doing wildfire mitigation at all. I mean, we don't have the equipment for it, we don't have the people for it, we don't have the money for it.
And the training, yeah.
And
Okay.
I think that really needs to come out. We can't commit ourselves. I don't feel as though myself we can commit ourselves to that. And if we put that in our ballot, we're committing to that. I think that would be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously review that whole the whole thing. Like, I think that was just the tested ballot language, so clearly we would review what the actual ballot language would be. Yeah, I just sent her what we had tested and asked her what her thoughts were on it. When I had sent it to her initially, my question was, is this written in the manner of making sure that we realize host homes in 2027? So I didn't ask her to review any of the other language on it. It literally just the stuff she sent back in yellow. And this was prior to us talking to her about hiring her. This was all still when she was just consulting with us. So this is not by no means this is not even her actual revisions of ballot language overall.
That's how I read it.
Yeah.
She was.
No, that was when I originally sent that. It was because Nancy and I wanted to make sure that this is written, like we were double checking that we can
Make sure
we can realize in 2027.
Right.
Correct.
So, yeah, I agree with Nancy. I think we need to
kind of do a cost benefit to both of these measures. Because annexation is a cost. Mill levy is a cost. And there's benefits, obviously, to both. But there's not funding.
Okay. So when do you propose that we do that session?
Well, I don't think it needs to be there. I think we need to record it. It's a workshop.
Not saying you can't be
Be
there.
there. But it isn't, I mean, it is considered a form of a special meeting, but I think we can all agree to just have it and not have Anita, we'll record it just like, an executive session, we'll have a notice of 4 hours.
But no decisions can be made.
No decisions, no votes, no
Okay.
anything. So if we do that in between now and the next meeting,
Okay.
we can be prepared, I think, to fully have a grasp of actual costs, what our budget, what I sit down with those numbers
Right.
and all the numbers and get James to help us with that study session on the annexation to kind of provide some of your information, so forth, if you could keep it right. And maybe even look into what Tallahassee had mentioned, the Route 3, if we're going to do an annexation project.
We don't gain anything out of that, but
We do, I think we do.
there's a few, but not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot, but is there a potential for more?
I think
Everything
especially with as much as everything's growing on that.
growing,
right now.
right, that's what I'm thinking. If we're going through the torture of annex, it would be worth at least evaluating.
We go that way anyway.
And if we do it anyway, that's true. I mean, so James, that would be Custer County to Route 3. I mean, Custer County, let me say, Copper Gulch. So Route 3. Those properties, it's a big area. For
We don't know
sure.
what's there or what.
It's mostly built.
It is.
But it's a little mileage for it.
And recover.
It would be nice to get some compensation for what we cover.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think it's worth hanging out some.
Which is not to say we can't we would want to turn that letter in also.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead and send the letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly don't want to do that.
Okay. I will do that. And then,
So, looking at calendars,
I would like to probably do it in the next 2 weeks because
I think so too.
yeah, because I'm going to still have to give him 2 weeks to work on that language if we need it, if we do decide to do it, that's the route we're going.
I mean, I think we could probably vote to authorize things pending the outcome of
Of a study session
yeah.
or, okay. That sounds good. Okay, so let's pick our date for our study session. I'm pretty open the end of July, guys, so I think next Wednesday is the only day I'm not available because I've got SDA Leadership Conference in Denver on the 22nd. But other than that, oh yeah, your daughter's here. What about the following week, JR? Do we do what about?
29?
Yeah, I was going to say 29th or what's
That works.
Okay.
And we can do it during the day.
Yeah, that would be fine, just as long as it's after 2 p.m.
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But I'm available anytime after 2. So should we just do the 29th at 2? Okay.
That works.
All right.
29 at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a little time, James. We appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, be where?
I'll be here. 2 p.m. I will send out a calendar invite to everyone.
Okay, and then we'll get, we can get an agenda on this.
Okay.
And then she
And we
can
just have
post
to
it
do-
at 24 hours.
Okay.
I really, it's kind of a cost benefit workshop for no levy annexation. You know?
Yeah, that sounds like good. What did you just call it? That was
Cost
great.
benefit.
Cost. I'm like, that sounded great. Nancy. Cost benefit analysis. Cool. All right, well then with that, I will make a motion to approve Kim's updated contract, not the current one that we have, because that one has the, the 10 grand on it, so I will have her update that. I will make the motion that we go with our council's suggestion of the hourly with a cap at $7,000.
Pending that.
Pending the outcome of the July 29th meeting at 2 p.m. Cost benefit analysis meeting.
Pending the cost analysis.
Well, you really can't. I mean,
Yeah.
because that's not a vote, so it would have to be pending a formal vote next month.
So then so I'll still just have her obviously write up all the ballot language and everything then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, we would maybe want to hold off on that
Right.
and then formalize it.
Okay. Okay.
But we'll have
I mean-
we'll know what.
What direction?
We can't vote on it or anything else, but the outcome of that meeting, we're going to have a good idea of what we need.
Which direction?
Okay. Does someone else second that?
Oh, second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
But we're going to hold, so let me make sure I realize what I Sorry. But we're going to hold off until after our meeting to contract with him.
No, I will sign with her now, but we will hold off on doing the work with her until after the 29th.
Because there'll be a cap.
Yeah.
There'll be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that way we at least pay her for it, if she is advising through that time period. So it'll be hourly, whatever she advises up to that time period, and then we'll have her do the actual ballot and paper language, which is what she's contracted to do. So she really won't be doing the work until after the 30th or 29th.
Right.
So we
Right.
won't need anything from her between now. So there won't be a bill.
Maybe for the meeting that I just did with her, but if that was a half an hour, so. Yeah.
So that was about.
Just about her contract
Her
and the scope of
contract.
work and the ballots, and she explained to me about the Spanish, and she said that they would do all of the certified Spanish ballot, translations and all that stuff that has to happen. So she just kind of walked me through what the process was. and the the Tabor language and the ballots and that. So I'll forward you guys the calendars that she sent through of the dates, just so you guys have all the information for her. And then I'll also send through the new contract with the updated terms.
So other than what we have now, we won't have.
Correct.
All right. Budget.
All right.
Budget person here.
All right, Nancy, you're up on 2026 budget update.
Yeah, we're still over.
Do we have any idea what the numbers are that we're over?
Well, it's hard to tell at this point because we're not receiving income on the wildland. The
Right.
numbers we're over are wildland only. Yes. So that is our concern, and we're watching it, managing it, following what bills are out, what we think is coming in. And I mean, we're making money on the trucks. So it's not about,
We just don't have any.
we just don't have it.
But when the state wants theirs, they want it now.
Well, we signed a contract that we have the funds to pay. And
Yeah, we have to front all this money. But we have to account for that in the budget. We found. So,
and
That
that's
sounds
and we're talking about that in September,
Okay.
starting that process to amend this budget. And I'm hoping by then we have this money in revenue that we can properly show. No one got back to me from that Blair. Twice I called on the budget.
That other accounting thing. What I'll do is I'll shoot Nicole an email and I'll CC you guys and just see if she could do an introduction. Because she was the one that recommended, so
Right,
maybe she could do.
I mentioned her name both times. We're talking about spiritual.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
Right.
So, and that's what I found when we were looking for accountants. I couldn't find that with district experience that
Right.
we're going to, no, we're not taking clients. No, we're not. I'm not calling you back.
Right.
because we looked for
quite a while.
months.
Yeah. And it was to no avail. So it's a hard thing.
How do you budget for wildlife? One year. we
Well,
didn't go out,
that's
we
just
were
it.
ready.
It's getting on a wall. You have no idea. And so
We
we're going to
would
we
have
have to
no
amend
idea.
it. No matter what, we would have to end up.
Well, we budgeted 60,000 and we moved that out number 6 weeks.
Right. Oh, even before that.
But yeah, you have no way to, you
You
just got
budget for next year for $350,000, $400,000, and we go.
we have a pandemic and nobody rolls.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that eventually, as this moves on, we'll have a wildland account that will have some more significant funds.
To
And
support itself.
we can
Right.
run from that, and that will be our budget. What we have, we haven't had a wildland team in how many years? And now all of a sudden we have one in there going out like crazy. And so if there's some money in this, then we have it and we'll work from that. And that will be our budget. That's the only way I see it.
And we're working to consolidate everything in that wildland. So Lori, you give me okay, and then the audit update. Okay, so our auditor who's had our audit documents in March, wasn't able, they're due, the audit's due the 31st of July. He wasn't able to complete it to be at this meeting. It has to be approved at our meeting. So we did an extension, which we've done before. So I submitted that to the auditor today. It was approved. So we are approved until September 3rd. So next month, Andrew is planning to the meeting.
Okay.
So that would be the first March.
Okay, perfect. Can we really quickly just back up to the budget update really quick to the September budget amendment? Can we talk about dates for that? Because September, October are like my craziest months because I've got the fall and I've got SDA conference and high holidays. And so I just wanted to look at what dates we were looking at to make sure that I'm available for you guys.
Well, what we need is, so if we vote next month to amend the budget in August, then it's a 30-day notice, so that puts us in September for our hearing. So let's say sometime the week of September 20th, or the following week of September 28th. But
Let's see. Okay, I could do Monday is Yom Kippur, so yep, I can't do. So I could do the 23rd, 24th, or 25th is a Friday, so no, 23rd or 24th of September. Oh, but let me look at when. Hold on, let me look at when SDA conferences.
no, I'm back.
Yeah, we will have to.
And we'll have to.
Okay, so.
So
sorry.
maybe the last week of September, 28th, 29th, 30th.
I can do. Let me see. Oh, you got the dot. Oh, wait. The third. Let's see.
And then if we want to put it off another month, I think, or you think we have any income in budget? I mean, there's no way we can balance the budget if we don't have wildlife, you know. So that's off the table.
It's a toss-up either way, but October's certainly more viable than September as far as
Having money.
having more money in.
Billing.
The longer, the more money. When I talked to them today, they said they could see it piling up. It hasn't even been submitted yet, but every time you put a fire in the system, they can see it. So even though you haven't submitted it, she said, we're going to be.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of hate to do it.
I don't want to.
Well, I was going to say, because it's in October and November, then we're getting into next year's budget, so we'd be doing, like, it would be just like mad numbers.
I think the end of September would be as
As best as we can.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that whole week at the end of
About the
let's see,
30th.
end of September. Just look. Java and then Chanaraba, yeah, that's fine. The 30th of September is fine for me.
So we can do this during the day also.
Yeah, that would be fine. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I was like, those 2 months are crazy, and then at the end of October, I'll be back to sort of normal in November. I'm basically running to the finish line now. Cool. Okay. Sorry. Thank
We
you.
can go ahead and put that note.
I think there's a
Yeah, time
it's like
period. You have to do it.
30 to 45 days
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll vote,
yeah, I know.
we'll vote to do it next,
Okay,
and then
So
submit
we'll be
the
on.
next day.
okay. That sounds good. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Were you done with your audit update?
Yep.
Okay,
that's it.
cool. All right, then I think it's Chief Widener and Lori on wildland updates, and then Steve on updates.
I kind of blurted all mine out in my update.
Well, I have been in contact with the Colorado billing, quite a bit, but we have at the moment $400,000 in bills submitted. After bonuses and et cetera, we should probably make approximately $140,000. I think. I mean, I'm estimating,
Right.
because all I can do is look at what the truck made in that bill that hasn't been approved yet, and divide out the bonuses and et cetera. But near as I can figure, we're somewhere around $140,000 once all is paid. The two Texas bills, which were the big bills, they're close to being paid. One is at the invoicer. There were two bills, one for $47,373 that I saw a few days ago was at the invoicer. So we should be getting payment on that very soon. The $146,838 one, I know because they told me has already been looked at by the eligibility checker, but it's not there yet because they had to send it back with some questions. And so she told me that they had already looked at it, so it should be really close to being paid. Questions when I got to that point. There were a lot of questions on the bill, but she also told me that that's not at all uncommon, and that, you know, a $200,000 bill, they're going to take pieces before they pay it.
Right.
And so, I mean, her last email to me was really very kind and very nice, and, you know, she said, this happens all the time. And she said, we get our own bills back. So anyway, she told me this morning that we actually were doing very well with our submissions. Feels real nice. So anyway.
Good job.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
when those are paid.
I know, that's all you, Lori, so we'll have to give you a little around it.
So when this Texas bill pays, we'll get a check for $194,211 altogether.
And that should be before September.
Yes, and our profit on that should be about $70,000. And when you look at our wildland expenses here, we're at about $160,000. But we paid out $27,000 in payroll last Monday. And I'm not sure if I don't think that's on.
I don't think
It's not on
the
here.
pay, that's another thing.
So the expenses on that fire and the payroll for that fire is not on here. So this $160,000 is already at $190,000. So we're already a couple $100,000 in. But when we get this check, it will make those numbers look tremendously better. And then we still have another $200,000 in bills outstanding that are submitted. So, and they're looking at it. I mean, I know they're looking at them because I'm getting questions. So that's a good thing. And I'm hoping they look at them before they see all those bills that they know are coming. And I'm hoping that's what they're doing because that will get us paid back.
Right. Yeah, all this big stuff.
So this $200,000 check will make a big difference in our bottom line, and it'll make us look a lot more balanced. Good. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see some of this. The other couple of things that I had to, I find my paper here.
We've been working on the driveway.
Yeah.
We got the drainage pipe flowing water. It's not 100% opened up. I'm not going to go flow water right now until we get in a better sight zone with fires. Right now, I don't want to have a fire truck with no water on it. We did get it flushed where we are flowing good water out to the south. It still needs a lot of work. It's going to take some time and some cooler days where we feel we don't need to have a fire truck ready right now.
I figure it might be fall with that taken care of. And then once we do, we can have Benny come in.
But that pipe is.
And I am going to ask him though, now that that's all marked, to come out and take a look at that pipe and so we can get an estimate on the cost and what that would actually take to make that happen so we can get that drainage.
We're trying to get it cleaned out. We're just trying to be smart and make sure we've got a fire truck with no water in it when we drop it.
No, I don't think we should be pumping water.
Speaking of, did you? Sorry.
Yes, he was going to bring us a $3,000 or $6,000 take and donate it to us.
Oh, he was?
Yep.
Okay, I thought he was going to just have access to it.
Well, he has one on his property we will have access to, and he's going to donate one to the department.
Okay.
He stopped in and talked, and I haven't seen him since.
Good.
But James about putting it on his property to take care of the paths and the trails over in
Yeah,
that part of the world.
over in that.
We really don't have a whole lot of water in that section. There's one tank, about 500 gallons.
Right.
But we can get 6,000 sitting over there, that would be huge help.
My water guy.
Yeah, he came in and we talked, and I told him I'd fill his tank, so.
Sorry, water guy is telling.
The nice thing is there's a trailer that goes with that tank.
That is.
Can't fill the tank and then transport it with the trailer. You have to transport the tank, can't be then fill it with water. But either way, if we feel one area is worse than the other, we can move that tank around and set it up for ourselves. So,
Great.
it'll be huge, different way to get there.
Yeah,
That's wonderful. So I had that on my list, as you know. And then I wanted to say, because with all this fire and stuff, that people were asking about some educational meetings or something to help figure out how we get out of here, what they do if there's a fire. I don't know I don't know the answers, but maybe we need to think about when it slows down a little bit, putting some of that together, which is something from looking up that you and Matt would have to do because we wouldn't have a clue.
Well, that Everbridge test is a good.
It is.
That's a good education.
Well, and that's working with GIS and marking out different parts. That's what we're planning, is we don't want to let all of Deer Mountain know they have to leave right now.
Right.
Because that's going to cause congestion and cause traffic problems. But if we say your part of Indian Wells needs to leave now and Nancy's needs to get ready, then that gives you guys time to get out before the next rush of vehicles gets out, and it kind of stages it out and makes that progression go a little smoother.
So maybe educating our community somehow.
We're working on the maps with GIS, and once we have that, then we can go to the next step of community education of letting them know that, hey, the ready, the set, the go, you need to follow what you're at, not just grab your stuff and run because you think you can. Because you're going to cause problems down here trying to get out of community.
We can also, tell them our strategies, our capabilities to fight fire, who we have, what we have, what we don't. Just to let people feel a little.
Are you still coffee on Friday? That would be a good time, maybe, just to advertise for us that you can ask questions on,
Yeah.
Evacuation concerns.
Yeah.
At that time.
We're working towards it, and it seems we're not the only ones. It seems everybody in the county is working on this. They learned a lot over in Florence, I guess, trying to evacuate the whole camps on what to do. So now they're going through each individual department coming up with that. I had an OEM meeting last week. We went and had crayons on maps and drew out how we wanted to split our district. So we did all of, everybody from Western Fremont County sat down and we drew them all up. The other cool thing about doing all this mapping is they'll be able to share their maps with us. So if I go to Howard, they can just shoot me their map, I can pull it up right away, and I know exactly what they're talking about, where they're talking about, how to go about doing it. So it's going to make everything easier for other departments coming in as well as helping our other departments.
But these
It's just a timely process. It's not happening overnight.
But this is how you get notified. This is what it means, you know.
And what we're doing to make all this better. Because, right. You know, that's all really interesting stuff.
Right.
I'm really interested. And I know everybody's really interested to know that we aren't just sitting here with our fingers in our ears, or you're not anyway. That we're really doing stuff to make it better and make it safer. So
We're trying. Just takes time.
But I want people to know. And how to do it cost. I know that Jessica was working on some of the costs.
I haven't heard anything on that in a while. Last I knew, Red Cross was not in Fremont.
We were supposed to set up a meeting and have that fire warrant, something else going on.
So I'm figuring that'll be after fire season. So I'll move on. Destiny Trujillo had applied for the job cleaning, and she's local. She really wanted the job. I touched base with her. I talked to Marcus and sent an email to the board. Offered her the position if she wants it, and we need to get together and show her where the cleaning supplies are and stuff. See how that works out.
Yeah.
Yes, and she'll be working under Matt and Marcus, or Marcus and Matt. As far as I just did this because they didn't have time.
Yeah, and if you want to get her that little form.
The contractor form?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll have to sign that. Then we already talked about the drive. And then I think that's all except for the OSG board in Building A. I know you haven't had time.
Haven't touched it at all.
I know. So what I was going to say is just let me know when it's done, because after that we have to get it framed.
We have to have a framing inspection.
Right. So, but we have to frame back there in the bath area. Yeah, 2x6 for the wash and dryer, and so, but none of that can happen until the OSD. So, when you have time and whenever it's done, just let us know and we'll move from there. Because then the framing and then the plumber comes back. Or then the electrician.
Could we look at having
plumber.
someone come and do it? Because, like, basically we're not renting our community hall, so if we were going to try to open for meetings, where are we standing with all of that stuff? Because I know, like, right now we weren't really opening it because of that. So that was kind of why I didn't, like, I wasn't really sure about, hosting meetings for, like, community that, or even if we want to do annexing meetings, mill meeting, those types of things. So I just wanted to see where we're at with that.
We just haven't been renting it out private.
Okay.
To a private party.
Okay.
Is all we haven't been doing.
Okay, so
Everything
we're
else,
okay to
the
do our
POAs
stuff.
are
Okay, cool.
Doing
Okay.
their
We can
meetings.
Yeah, okay.
This didn't have anything to do with fire station business or even the POAs that have always met. It's just private parties
Gotcha.
where,
Okay. I just was curious of where we were at with that, and especially with as busy
And
as
maybe
they
we
are,
do want
maybe.
Together a work day and pull that OSB.
Yeah, maybe we could just look at doing that and help out to get that next step going with the.
So we can work on that. I'll work with them on this. Maybe Mike can come down and maybe Ward and maybe.
I'll come help. Tell me. As long as it's after 2:00, I'll be down here. I'll kick some balls in or whatever we have to do.
We don't want to kick those in.
Oh, come on, let me be fun.
So anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, cool. All right, you're up next. Yay.
Okay. So me and Lori have been working on updating our ugly signs on the roadway to improve our image.
And it does need to be improved beyond
Yeah.
that OSB board.
Let's get find it on here. I'm not blinding you now. Oops. No. This is not my projector. Here's the source button.
Well,
You know,
that's the first time I've seen that out of the box.
well, anyway, I'm not going to sit here and play with that. We have about 7 versions of the sign that we are looking at. Me and Lori have been working on this. She's working on the cost and the printing because that's her specialty. And we're looking at 44 by 34. You said you like the square one. We'll go 44, 44 or 34.
Whichever one they'll do.
Okay. So there's 7 of these. Y'all can come up here and look at them on my computer. And I emailed all the guys on the board today. So yeah, pick whichever one you like. And if you see a component of one picture that you like the background of one picture, but the foreground of another picture that you think that would, we can do whatever we want to do on this. Come to a group decision. This is not in any way trying to change our patch, our official patch. That will be a discussion some other time, but today is only about the signs, and I can go.
But I think, I personally like the logo with the mountains. I think it looks really nice.
I just don't like to be in it.
I don't like to be in it either.
What?
It needs
So that one?
to be DMF.
Just DMFPD, because everybody wonders what DMFPD is, and then DMFPD.
And besides that, it's for
So just get rid of this or duplicate.
I think it's true.
But I
Or
think
serving
that
sense.
Although they might have UV.
I like that logo, but I think that if you know, if at some point we're considering changing our logo, then we could use that. But
I think if we
if
go
we're
with this,
never going to change our logo, I think we should keep our regular.
Right. The one with the mountains in the background is my vote for logo too.
Alan,
Yes.
That's my vote too. But
this one right here. Yeah. They're the same. This one's just got misshaped in there. It should be exactly the same. The green is covered up by the ear mountain.
I think for a patch, I would do that, but it has to be.
Ear mountain fire protection district. I would change it.
I like that.
I would like to, if we go with that one, go with this kind of background too. And I like the black sign with the colors to be able to see at night. I would see the daytime with white. Just how you see. So,
sorry, I was
and if any of you want your picture on the board.
We're going to have Nancy say, welcome to your mountain.
So whichever one you guys like, just let me know if we need to vote on it now, if we need to You're trying to look at it. It sounds like people are thinking toward this one.
Which,
I think, this is my personal opinion.
mm-hmm.
If we were going to consider changing our logo to say this, in, moving forward,
Right.
which I know is what Marcus would like to do. I like it. But if that is a plan that we want to pursue, then I think we can use this logo. If it's not, then I think we have to stick to our standard logo.
Right.
I
That's
think
what,
that just looks cleaner, a little more modern, more professional.
I like it
It
too.
wouldn't look good on paint.
I bet the yellow would pop it off and make it look alright. It might be a little dark. And our uniform shirts, put it on the patches on our uniform.
And we can change the outline of
Yeah,
what.
we can change that.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me up here is for the signs and stuff, would have to use them on paint. It doesn't fade for the
No,
weather.
we have them printed.
Oh, okay.
and do they do like UV whatever to help with fading and all that business? Oh, we got a hummingbird just came in behind you guys.
Inside?
Yeah, it just flew up right behind your head.
Where is it?
He just went out the door. Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. If we're gonna use a different logo on the sign than our standard logo, we should kind of have a plan to change it eventually as time
So
goes
when
on.
you said logo, you're talking about the station patch.
Yes, I'm talking about that.
So I don't know the process that you go through that. Do the firemen vote on that or board vote
Yeah,
on
what is
that?
the process of changing our branding? Because that would change, that means we'd have to change all the decals on all the
All the trucks.
apparatuses.
Right, and we would as time goes on.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
would
yeah.
be a slow road.
There would be a
The
slow
process
road.
of there, you just say, chief.
I mean,
Basically.
Okay.
We probably have two going for a while.
We have a new fire truck coming
Right.
too, so we need to make it for the
Yeah.
new truck that's here.
Well, I will say this. Our current logo is incredibly, well, first and foremost, we don't have a vector graphic of our current logo. We do have some higher resolutions that they use and
but
stuff,
I
but
think
we do have a
can
digital.
make it.
I know, but what I'm saying though is our current logo scalable into big into small is not, it is not scalable ADA compliant. So that's the first thing on the current logo. This, however, would be way easier to scale,
Yeah.
bigger or smaller as far as an actual
Oh,
logo.
yeah, because if you make that real big, it's gonna look real nice. And if you make that real big with a deer, he's gonna look a little wide-eyed and, I mean, he is.
Right, right. So I do think that looking at a long-term, brand change as far as our, our logo and our patch and stuff would be.
I think that looks a lot more professional.
It has to be on, it has to keep those colors, it has to be on a light shirt. It's just dark.
But we could
There's no
change
white.
the background.
Yeah, you could put a colored patch down on it.
I get it.
And all that outline we could change to
To white.
white.
Yeah.
And make the letters white. We could just leave like the sky, which we could change to a blue if we wanted to. Or just saying. We can do whatever we want with the color.
Right. And did you say we'd be getting rid of the D in that and it would be DMFPD? Okay.
Like,
So we would change it to
DMFPD.
fire
Fire protection. Okay. Yeah.
but is that the logo for your,
Logo my boss is paying me with. This is the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District.
but is this,
This is the volunteer
well,
patch.
But that's the one we saying.
Yeah. That's the one that's up
that's
there.
the same,
Correct, but I would like to swap over to that and put that on all of our equipment.
and not the volunteer.
Fire care for volunteer money. Yeah.
Okay.
And we've become a combination department.
Anyway, yeah. But we are,
But we have paid staff,
I know.
so we are technically a combination
But
department.
what we're saying here is welcome to Deer Mountain Fire Protection District.
Correct.
Right.
And that's why we would match those.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what we do with the letters, the letters you can
I
change.
love those. You know,
So I wonder what it would
on
look
a
like.
red vehicle, think about that. the colors on the red, you know.
I wonder what it would look like if the outlines were white. No.
Well, and how many colors is that? Because typically a full color, it's only 3. Okay.
Well, you have the green, the black, the white, the gold, and the red.
Green,
But they're
black,
still
white,
gonna print
red. Yeah.
Minimal numbers. The colors.
Typically, you don't want a logo that has more than 4 colors. Is why we have it.
But that, if they do gold on the truck, that'll look good because all fire trucks are red with gold letters.
Oh, okay. Well,
Gold and red. It's very good.
I think it's marked.
If they did the gold around the outside of the Maltese cross and
I love it.
the swish marks in it,
I love
that would
I think change that red color then to something lighter. Keep the gold on the outside and
we can change the red.
to a lighter color and
This is more of a maroon red. It's not a fire traditional red.
Right,
But
but
we
you
certainly change
wouldn't
it.
want that. I don't know that we want.
Well, first of all, we'd have to choose Pantones, and this is probably not Pantone. So the colors are going to be different because what you're looking at right now is RGB colors, not CMYK. So when you actually change over to Pantone, it would be what's called a stock color. So it'd be very specific colors. So it won't be exactly this because the way you combine colors for print and like paper and stuff is very different than the amount of colors in digital as well. So we could look at what Pantones we thought would be good for those, 4 colors.
Well, and when we go to Pierce with logos that we want on the truck, they'll tell you that looks great or that looks like trash.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what those people get paid to do all day, every day, is put colors
That's
on fire
coming in
trucks.
November.
November, December. I'm waiting any day to start getting updates on it.
I know, I was thinking.
You get pictures when you have them.
I will be the first one to get them. We will start blasting those all over social media and stuff. I think that would look great on the door and great on the couch.
Okay, good.
might.
If you think it works on all those,
I will do some color tests. And put that
because
on
I
different-
like it.
That would be great. I'd
So
like
we
to
can
see
see
the patch on some different colors, like what it would look like on a dark blue shirt or what it would look
The thing with the gold trim around it,
I
it's just
think so. But, that way we can look at it, because it's not a lot different than that black.
Right.
Even the crown shirt has a lot of gold on it.
Well, it'll be very different with, CMYK colors. It always is. When you look at the difference between what you get to look at color-wise on the screen compared to when it actually gets printed.
That's a little brighter red,
I think we could.
but that looks great.
I can do that.
And we can change it to fire department red.
Or close a little closer, or a little bit brighter. I like that better.
So I think we're already looking at changing.
Again, that's fire department change for their patch. So we'll see how the best way to handle that.
The other big issue we run into is
We have our own insurance, and I didn't want to bother down. I have stopped a bunch of illegal dumping people for $2 slashing the BLM. You guys are just putting more fuel. I get an hour a day alone. So we've gotten that under control.
Can I get on with announcements and adjourn this meeting? So it's okay. I just didn't know if all of this needed to be on our record. You're more than welcome to continue staying and chatting, but I am going to give the announcements. Monthly board meeting for August is August 15th here at Station 1 p.m. And then with that, we are done with the meeting. So I do a motion to vote to adjourn the meeting today. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. This meeting is over. Okay, please carry on.
next board meeting, 15th of August.
Yeah, I believe so.
16.
Drive the 15th.
Oh, no, I mean.
It's the 19th. I'm sorry.
Making sure I'm looking at the right people.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, it's the 19th of August.
I know,
Apparently, I am not looking at the right calendar. Both my dates are.